When you see a movie with this title, what do you expect? Like, actually use your little squishy stress ball up here and just think what you will see in here when you watch a film titled Dicks the Musical. Because I'm telling you, whatever you think of, take that to a more extreme level. And that's what you get in this movie, especially the ending of this film, because after seeing what I saw, I need to confess some sins. But if you don't know, Dicks the Musical is directed by Larry Charles and also stars Josh Harp and Aaron Jackson, who are also the goobers who wrote this pig party. But anyways, it follows these two identical twins who were separated at birth, but eventually come together and make it their mission to bring their family back together once again and live the family life they always wanted. Now let me get this out of the way. This movie is insanely horny. Like every 5 lines in every single musical number, they're always referencing wee-wees, boobies, sucking, and like this movie's main theme is sexuality and not being afraid to embrace it. Because the two main characters play your traditional manly man. You know, you wake up, drink nails for breakfast, you go to work, and you come back home to smash a woman and feel gassed about your eggplant being massive, which is actually a debate the characters have. And for some people, that whole theme may make them feel yucky, but honestly, it was all delivered in a belly-laughing way. For example, the sex jokes were first of all creative, like whenever it feels right, the movie will interject some sort of wiener joke, and there is also a fair balance between the meat scepter jokes and the regular jokes. However, even though there is a balance between those jokes, I will say there is an overdose on jokes overall. Because I can tell that this movie is trying their nipples hardest to make sure you laugh your boogers off and also have a more exciting experience than watching Cats for the first time. But there comes a point where you just become desensitized to the humor, and the only way for the movie to make you belly laugh once again is if they show or say something of shock value. And I don't think you need to overdose on jokes because this movie is 84 minutes. It takes longer for me to drive to university. It didn't need to go so gusto-busto on the jokes because it reached a point where everything just became unfunny and they were trying too hard. For example, God is in this movie played by Bowen Yang, and the movie pushes this narrative that he's this queer icon, and the movie knows that this will make some people mad, like their appendix will explode out of anger, but they don't care. So they keep pushing this queer narrative, and it just gets more lame after a while. It's like eating the bone of a chicken wing. There's also something I want to talk about when it comes to the runtime, and it's that since this movie is shorter than the wait time for Taylor Swift tickets, it means that this movie crams in so many musical numbers where every major character performs at least one. And this is different from other musicals you've seen because in movies like La La Land or Greatest Showman, there is a fair amount of time between each song, but not this movie, not this piece of incest, because almost every 7 minutes, somebody's belting out a tune. And in my opinion, there are only 2 songs that are worth paying attention to in this film, because a lot of them are more boring than watching a plant grow, but the good musical numbers, that being the song where the twins discover each other's existence for the first time, and the bloody Megan Thee Stallion number, these songs are absolute bops, especially the Megan one. She did awesome. It's 100% a number I would rewatch. But I think I did enough critiquing. Let's get to some of the good stuff in this Twilight sequel. Now, the first thing I love about this movie is that it was constructed like a theater musical and not a movie. For example, the sets look very cheap, there's music playing in the background constantly, the acting, which is great by the way, is all just a bunch of overacting, which is exactly what you see in a theater musical and not something you see in a traditional movie musical. And that was fresh and very campy to see. Another thing I like about the movie is the writing and how silly, how dink-doink, and especially how stupid the story is. This narrative breeds stupidity. Like, for example, there's one scene where there's this talking pocket pussy, and that ended up killing someone by taking its lips, hugging the face of the victim, and suffocating the goober. Okay, a talking pocket pussy. If there's any weapon in the world the Avengers could have used to beat Thanos, they should have done more research on that. And the ending of the movie, I don't want to spoil it, but the third act of the film is so stupid, I'm surprised it's not controversial. Like when I described this portion of the film to one of my friends, he actually started getting angry that this specific scene existed. But look, the stupidity made the movie unpredictable and more shocking than talking to a woman for the first time. Therefore, it was a lot more of a joyful experience because you don't see what's gonna happen next. So yeah, overall the movie is a fun, horny musical joyride of giggles, wiggles, and stupidity, but it's also mixed in with a little bit of cringe because of the overdose on jokes, more boring musical numbers than good ones, and a potentially controversial scene. 3 stars.